Alright, today we are going to take a look at behind the scenes of the studio. This is something you guys have never seen before, but you guys have been asking for a while now, and you guys have been probably watching this channel, and you might not necessarily see what happens behind the scenes. Hey, this is Peng Joon here today, and I want to be able to show you what it takes to create a professional studio setup. I'm gonna do my best to be as specific as possible. Understand that I'm not a tech person. I'm just the person who writes the check. But I'm gonna show you the different type of equipments. If you've always thought about building a studio, whether it's low budget all the way to high end, you're gonna be able to see exactly what it is that you need to be doing if you want to build a studio that is functional, that helps you spread your voice, your message in the best way you can. Okay, so this first place that we're at is the green screen studio, and this section over here was a section that we redid twice, because the truth is at start I didn't know what I was doing, and I got an ID guy to build up this studio here, which is number one, the first mistake that I make. And this video here is also not to show you what to do, but also what not to do. So my ID guy, initially when he did this place, he was the same person who did my office. Great guy, but the problem is when it comes to tech, it's a very different thing. So initially when this section was built, it was cloth, and then we changed it because we realized it was bad. And then after that, we changed it by painting it, but we realized that this section over here, it wasn't smooth, it wasn't curved like this. So if you've always wanted to build a green screen section, so that you can do these, backdrops. You could put a Lamborghini in your backdrop. You could put yourself as though you're on a beach. You could, put yourself in space, whatever it is. The most important thing that we realized when I got professionals coming in is the lighting. So it's actually really bright right now, but ahead of me, on top of me, in fact, there is like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's like 15 lights up here in front of me. And apparently the whole purpose of that is to even out the lighting so that apparently there's no shadows. If there's shadows, then it's hard to cut you out post-production. So the most important thing here is if you are thinking about setting up a green screen, make sure it's curved and make sure that the lighting is kind of spread out so that it evens out your shadows, and there's minimal shadows, which makes it a whole lot easier for post-production. So by the way, if you enjoy this kind of stuff, be sure to like this video so that YouTube recommends it to more people, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos just like this. Okay, so this over here is the infinity wall, where I was told that apparently if you want to take nice pictures, and this is where I do like the posing for the thumbnails. If you notice the YouTube channel, right, whether it's like this, whether it's like this, or so apparently this is great for photos, and a lot of the photos that's utilized in thumbnails and marketing on my website's funnels, they're all taken over here. So you might be thinking, what is the difference between the green screen and infinity wall? I don't know. I'm just literally thinking of that question right now, and perhaps you guys can tell me what the difference is, but that's a great question. Okay, something I'll probably need to ask my team. So the next thing that we have is the podcasting section, a section that I've never used. Podcasting is one of those things was in my to-do list. I look up to some of these podcasts, and I was like, that is really cool. I want to be able to build a podcasting show. And I've ordered all the best gear, but never used it. So I'm guilty of wanting to do something, but never having taken action on it as well. But over here, what we have is apparently the best in line, the Neumann, spelled as Newman, but apparently like the right way to pronounce it is Neumann. And you will see that when I eventually invite guests over, and the upsell was you gotta have these fancy headphones as well. And the purpose of that is so that you can hear what the other person is saying better, and also if there's like post-production music, yada yada, or somebody giving you direction, I believe it will come over to here as well. And one of the things that I'm always thinking about is automation and minimal use of manpower. So you'll notice that there's this cam over here. It is a Sony cam. Let me see if I can get you the exact model. No, I can't. There's no numbers in here. Perhaps I'll leave it in the YouTube description. If you want to find out the exact model numbers, I'll go ahead and leave that in the YouTube description. Be sure to check that out if you want to know the exact thing. It's like the wide shot of where it's both me and the guest. And you'll notice that there is a movable camera that eventually will be like, zoomed in on either me or the guest. And this is what this setup is for. As you can see, never used it, so it's kind of just over here. I actually love this cam. There's two of these cams here in the studio, and I'll show you what the use is for the other one. Next is props. Okay, so I've always talked about, if you follow this channel, that the most important thing when doing an ad, when securing attention, is a pattern interrupt. And one of the best way to do a pattern interrupt is to, have some sort of hook, attention grabber, prop. This is the shelf of props. We usually have a lot more stuff in here, but they're kept in the storeroom as well. And if I want to be able to grab a prop to illustrate a specific thing, some of the things you might have seen in our previous episodes, they're all inside over here. And this is something that I use on coaching calls when giving out prizes, rewarding people to take action. So what else do we have? Okay, so next one is lighting. If you take a look at the top over here, so remember when I said when I first built up the studio, I hired an ID guy who made the studio look beautiful, but it wasn't really, tech focused. So over here, these lights were the initial lights installed in the studio, but it's not the lights you should be having. Now these lights are yellow lights and was very harsh. So if you take a look at my videos from like 2 years, a year ago, 2 years ago, some of the comments that you guys would tell me is like, Peng Joon, why does it look like you haven't slept in days? Now the truth is, I sleep 8 to 12 hours every single day. I've got enough sleep. But lighting is so crucial. Lighting right now, if you take a look at these lights, there's one light over here, like this is a huge light. Okay, there's another light over there, 2 lights in front, as well as lighting up here. So it's kind of like even and it's white fluorescent. It's not blinding. So lighting is everything. It somehow hides your flaws, makes you look like you had enough sleep. Okay, so lights super crucial. Next one is, man, there's so many things to cover. Okay, so let's talk about camera angles. Okay, so if you want to have different camera angles, and I'll talk about how everything is connected to each other. First of all, there's 4 cameras over here. The first camera is the main camera that's over here. The next camera is this camera over here, which is to show this next angle if I were to use the whiteboard. Okay, so the whiteboard is a digital whiteboard, which I'll talk about in a second, but this is to utilize this angle. And finally, the third angle is over here that is focused on me when I'm sitting down on the chair. Okay, so this is the third angle over here. And you're probably wondering why are all these, people frozen in time in front of me. So there is 4, 8, 12 screens in front of me. And the whole purpose of this is for when I do my live events or trainings and people hop on a Zoom call with me. So this is where I put up these fake faces in front of me just so they can see how it looks like. Okay, so this is where I'll be able to engage with each and every single person. And over here, this is the whiteboard. Now, you will notice that this whiteboard over here, there is a HDMI output, which was a big difference between my old one and this one. This whiteboard here is called a smart board, but basically what it does is because it's got a HDMI output and it can connect to my laptop. So what that means is a couple of things. It means that whenever I show on my screen as I'm teaching or training or doing or broadcasting, instantly in one click of a button, people can see what I'm seeing on my screen. On top of that, they can do a picture-in-picture as well, which means my face on top of the screen. And I can swap around from teaching stuff, right? Teaching, drawing over here. And you will see that, first of all, right, remember this screen over here? It appears over here. At the same time, I could be, showing a specific website or funnel or case study. And that is when we could be swapping around from my share screen to teaching notes. This smart board was something that, I actually loved. Before this, the whiteboard that I utilized in my YouTube videos about 1 to 2 years ago, it didn't have this HDMI output capability. That had a huge difference. And I believe there's a huge difference in pricing as well. So next one is, so remember this cam? So this is the same cam that was set up for the podcasting area. Now this cam over here, now what is this for? So whenever I'm doing events, I do not want my events to have like 7 people sitting there, working on behind the scenes. So my goal here is to create and utilize tech as much as possible to streamline and automate with minimal people so that I can do it just one person. So this angle over here is utilized to show my audience that I can actually see them. Okay, so what that means is, as I am standing here and as I'm looking at them, they will be able to see that I am talking to each one of them, right? So this is going to fuel further engagements. Let's talk about what happens behind the hood. Now, behind these screens, I'm gonna invite you over here, is first of all, right now, whenever we do virtual events and coaching online, how Zoom works that each of these screens is actually connected to a separate laptop. Insane, but that's what technology has allowed us right now. So come and follow me over here. Some of the screens that you see in front, there's 4 laptops over here, where each of these laptops is connected to a different screen, okay? And that's why you see all these faces over here, just to show you how that might look like. And the other laptops is in the other room, okay? So let's head back out to the other room, which is like the main room. It's got like the switcher. I'm gonna show you how files are saved. And again, I'm not a tech person. This thing is probably as confusing it is to me as to you as well, but I'm gonna try to show you the list of stuff that's over here, okay? So if I were to do everything all over again, things would be very different. Again, when it was initially designed, it was designed by an ID person, where the main focus was on aesthetics without really thinking and taking into account that the world might be on lockdown and this is what we're going to be doing. Initially, it was just for me to record videos, not so much to throw virtual events. So because of that, we didn't anticipate that we'll put all laptops over here. So what are all these laptops for? Again, these laptops are for when I do virtual events, and because to see each screen needs to be connected to a different laptop, so it's all gonna be here. I do feel that technology moves very fast and eventually this setup is not required, might be obsolete in a couple of years, who knows? But if you've always wanted to have like that kind of setup, that's what's required right now. So each of these screens, they're all connected to, I don't even know what it is. Elle, you have any idea what this is? No idea. No, sorry. My Elle, who's shooting a video right now, has no idea as well. But it says here, it's a 10-port HDMI splitter. Okay, so if you make sense out of it, that's what it is. All the things are connected over here. And then there's this huge switcher over here with a bunch of wires. Again, apparently the ideal thing is to build up a rack so that it doesn't overheat, but we've been doing this for the last, this setup has been around for the last 1+ year. So it seems to work out fine. And this is where my team is switching everything. And apparently a really important step is to press record. Very important. Okay, so these hard disks, basically whenever I shoot and do a YouTube video or a virtual event, all of the files are automatically saved in here, provided you press the record button. And then over here is, I don't know, so we'll do a B-roll of this. I have no idea what this is, but this is a lot of buttons. Yeah, this is the main control room where the magic happens, which I have no idea what magic it is. So my team handles that. This is where they switch between the different camera angles, do the picture-in-picture, as well as this thing connects to my mic. Now, right now, the mic that I'm utilizing for this portable camera is this. Okay, so this is the receiver. Finally, where was it? It was supposed to be, it was over there. But one of the things that I do, if you notice when I do virtual events or live events, I have a mic that is more like this, which is more comfortable than a lapel mic. So that mic, I believe it's maybe over here. This is the receiver and the mic that I utilize whenever I do it. I know it looks a little bit obnoxious. It looks like I'm Britney Spears performing in a concert. But if you are presenting multiple hours in a day, this is actually way more comfortable and it doesn't feel like you're straining your voice because the mic is just right up over here. So this is great for really long videos. Especially if you're running an event, it's a whole day thing, this is going to be way more comfortable and less strenuous in your voice. Now this thing here is approximately $700. Now this is one of the few things that I know what the price is because we just broke our previous one. I'm not sure how I broke it, and this order for this one just came in like 2 days ago. So you're probably thinking again what the prices are for these individual things. I know that all in all, we spent silly money on it. Okay, that's all I can say. So finally, one last thing that I did not mention just yet is on top of this screen, you'll notice that there are these speakers. So what the speaker does is the volume is set at a very minimal amount so that when I'm speaking, I know that that's what my audience is hearing. When I'm playing a video, same thing, the video plays over here so that I know what my audience is experiencing as the video is playing. And as I'm looking around, I think this should be it. I think this wraps up the tour of the studio. This is basically what I've been shooting these videos for you guys over the last couple of years. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, do me a favor, smash the like button. It does help this channel out. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If you enjoyed this video, let me know what your biggest takeaway is as well. And be sure to subscribe to this channel for more future just like this one. For more what? For more videos just like this one.